Thank you, Mr. Grant, and it's nice to see Mr. Verhul here also. This is a great topic, and I'm glad to be part of this committee. I think there's lots of great things we can do. You know, one thing on the last negotiations, and Mr. Verhul, you probably agree with me, we learned was this relationship with the U.S. is one that we have to keep fostering, we have to keep renewing and keep working with all the time. We can't take anything for granted. And of course, one of the things that we're looking at here right now is this proposal for the roadmap for renewal U.S.-Canada. So my first question to you, Mr. Grant, in regards to that, what was the process in developing this roadmap? What did you go through? Who did you consult with? Who was involved in this process as you put this together?
Thank you very much for the question. In terms of conducting or constructing the roadmap, there were contacts between various departments, as well as between, in the United States, the National Security Council, and on our side, the Privy Council Office, as well as Prime Minister's Office and the White House. It was a collective effort, and tough to say who held the pen, but it was coordinated centrally by PCO and PMO with the input from many departments, and the same on the US side.
So there's been no consultation done outside of government in regards to the acceptance of this roadmap.
In terms of getting to the announcement of the roadmap, I think it was mostly done internally amongst officials and with our American friends. But it's there for everyone to see, and will certainly be part of the engagement with all Canadians as we move forward.
Okay, moving on to Line 5, of course, that has serious consequences here in Canada and Sarnia, and of course out in Western Canada. Is there anything in our international agreements going back to 1977, the treaty between Canada and US, concerning pipelines that makes sure that the state of Michigan can't unilaterally shut down this pipeline? Lost volume.
Very sorry. Thank you for the question. Right now, federal government is working very closely with Enbridge, mostly through mobilizing our diplomatic network in the United States to engage state of Michigan, as well as other states that have vested interest in Line 5. We are also looking at all of our options that are available, including the 1977 treaty, and we're doing so in close collaboration with Enbridge. We also have a vibrant discussion going on with provinces, as it's in everyone's interest that we see this resolved as expeditiously as possible.
Yeah, I'm concerned because if one state's allowed to do this to Line 5, what's preventing another sector being at the mercy of a state doing that to their sector? So uh, let's say cattlemen in North Dakota, all of a sudden North Dakota says we don't want Canadian cattle. Uh, does that mean they can unilaterally do that? So I'm just kind of curious, under CUSMA, uh, did we put any measures in place to even enhance the 1977 agreement? And what are those options that you're looking at in regards to ensuring that we do everything we can to protect our interests?
Thanks. I think Steve might want to come in on the question regarding CUSMA, but in terms of looking at all our options, it's exactly that. As you may know, there are processes in state court in Michigan, as well as in federal court. We do see this as a state-to-state issue between government of Canada and the government of the United States. This issue was raised in the recent meetings last week to ensure that the United States realizes the importance of Line 5 to Canada, and we'll continue to look at all possible options going forward. Steve, did you want to comment on the CUSMA aspect?
Sure, and thank you. Yes, certainly we do have provisions in CUSMA that could come into play on these issues, particularly in relation to investment obligations. But I think that, as Michael has pointed out, this is not really the route that we want to go right now. I think that we don't want to enter a long dispute that's going to take a very long time to resolve, along with the potential result that may not bring us what we want. So our focus at the moment is to try to advocate very strongly, to put pressure on the U.S. Government and others to ensure that this doesn't actually come into play. So that's our focus for the moment.
Mr. Grant, you said in your roadmap, you talked about energy infrastructure and putting in place new energy infrastructure. Of course, we've seen things like Keystone being shut down in the US. So, what does this new infrastructure look like? Who's involved with it? And what's the intent behind it?
Thank you very much for the question. Well, first and foremost, it's also about protecting existing infrastructure, and Line 5 is exactly well, it's a prime example of it. In terms of new infrastructure, I can say that Canada is a significant exporter of hydroelectricity to the United States, and there are many opportunities in hydroelectricity to expand that export. So I think as we look at both ensuring our collective energy security, as well as looking at our efforts to collectively protect the environment and combat climate change, hydroelectricity provides an excellent example going